Welcome back. Today, let's get into how I prioritize booking luxurious five-star hotels in Thailand while also staying within my budget. So, as I shared in the previous episode of my 2025 travel diaries, I have been to Thailand twice, and both times I've had my fair share of luxurious five-star hotel stays. So, the first time I was there, I stayed at the Kimpton in Koh Samui. I stayed at the Intercontinental in Chiang Mai, and I stayed at the JW Marriott in Bangkok. In my 2025 travels, I stayed at the Dinzo Resorts in Phuket, and then I stayed at the Intercontinental in Bangkok. And out of those 5 stays at all 5-star hotels, I only paid $300 for that Dinzo resort. If you missed out on the story, go back to episode 2 that I posted yesterday around how I fumbled the bag and made a rookie mistake that we will never make again. But with the other 4 stays, I completely relied on my points from the respective credit cards that I use specifically for travel. And I really wanted to take some time in this episode to shed light on the opportunity and just the possibilities that come with properly managing and taking advantage of travel credit cards. So I wanted to show you the 3 credit cards that I use specifically for travel. I'm gonna give you the front of it and then put it down so I don't show any information I'm not supposed to. The first one is the IHG One Rewards Premier credit card. Now, this one is super underrated, and I will say it has had a tremendous impact on my travel experiences. So first things first, let's start off with the anniversary free night. At the anniversary of whenever you got your credit card, you get a free night, and you can use that credit. I believe it's up to 40,000 points for how much that night would cost. But I've used this perk on both of my trips to Thailand, and they've gotten me free nights at 5-star hotels, which has been amazing. I also love that you get up to 26 times the points per dollar that you spend. So let's say you spend $100 at an IHG resort, you'll then get 2,600 points for that $100. Like, it's a no-brainer when it comes to just like that point conversion compared to a lot of other credit card point systems. And then the third big thing that has been a game changer for my experiences is that with being a card holder, you automatically get Platinum Elite status with IHG. So I'll drop the link to the card just with like all the details so you can see what that even equates to, but it has led to such an elevated experience for me. It has led to free drink tickets. It's also led to free breakfast. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Now the next card, let's go into the heavy hitter. This is the IHG Platinum. I don't know if you can see it because I got the mirror. I got the new one. It's so cute. You can probably see me looking at you, looking at me. Hey, girl. This is the travel credit card of travel credit cards. It doesn't get any better than that. A lot of perks outside of the hotel specific amenities I want to talk about, but with hotels, you get $600 a year towards the respective hotels that they have within both the hotel collection as well as the fine resorts and hotels. So with the fine resorts and hotels, you get that 12 p.m. check-in, and then you can check out at 4 p.m., which who gets over 24 hours in a hotel? It's an amazing perk, and I use it every single chance I get. I will say with that 12 p.m. check-in, that is based off availability, but every time I've gone to one of the hotels within the fine resorts and hotels, I've also gotten guaranteed 4 p.m. checkout. So that has been a game changer, especially if there's just like a day when I just wanted to sit out somewhere and rest. You also get $100 credit towards whatever you want to use in the hotel. So that could be food, it could be your mini bar, it could be drinks, it could be spa, parking, like whatever. So that is in and of itself like a no-brainer. You also get free breakfast for 2. So that's one less meal that you have to pay for in the day, which if you play your cards right, I like to have that as like a brunch. So a very late breakfast so that it takes care of my breakfast and lunch. And then all I have to worry about paying for is dinner later in the day. There's another perk I'm not thinking of right now, but I'll drop the link for the cards so that you can take a look at those. But that's just like a high level of the perks that I look forward to every single time I get to stay at one of the fine resorts and hotels through IHG. And then, I'm sorry, not through IHG, through Amex. The last one is the Delta Sky Miles card. So that's the one that looks like this. This is their platinum one. And with the Delta Sky Miles card, they actually do have $150 that you can use towards their Delta stays. I probably went 2 or 3 years without actually knowing this. I don't know. I just hadn't looked in the portal. I was so invested in like my IHG card and my Amex Platinum card that I hadn't actually looked into the vacation side of Delta, but they do have a separate tab specifically for you to be able to use $150 towards any of those hotels. So best believe these past 2 trips to Thailand, I took advantage of that perk. In addition, like, of course, they have the free baggage for your first bag, and then you get a companion pass every year, which always works out traveling with your partner. One of you pays for one flight, and then the other one's free. So these are the 3 cards that I strategically use when it comes to making the most out of my trips. Like, I think I've gone to hotels where I didn't have access to these perks, and it's just a different level of service that you get when you are a loyalty member, and they're like, welcome. You automatically get a welcome drink. You are greeted and thanked for your status. You're then provided with the drink vouchers or the free breakfast voucher or the $100 credit. And it's just like, it's such a different start to your trip versus thanks for staying with us. Here's your room card. So from the beginning, like that is one of those things that I just look forward to when it comes to staying with these respective brands. And I will also add that when you are staying at hotels in Thailand, the rate that you're looking at for a 5-star hotel is significantly lower than the rate that you're looking at for, a 5-star hotel here in the US. So what that does, especially when you're looking to pay with points, it allows you to essentially spread out those points across more nights. So for example, I'm trying to think of one of them. So like the Intercontinental, for example, stayed there for 2 nights. The amount that I spent in points allowed for me to stay there for 2 nights without having to pay a dime out of pocket, versus if I were to stay at like the Intercontinental in Buckhead, for example, that would have only been able to cover 1 night. So if you have loyalty status with whether it's Marriott, whether it's IHG, Hilton, you name it, I encourage you to, and let's say like you have a trip planned for Thailand or wherever in Asia, like look at their website, of course. And when you're doing your research, yes, check out like, I'm going to gravitate towards like an Intercontinental or a Kimpton before I even look at like a Holiday Inn or a Holiday Inn Express. So know your standard. Like I may have shared this in an earlier video, but personally, when I'm looking at accommodations, my standard is that wherever I'm staying has to be at a higher level than like my house. Like I'm not going to go somewhere on vacation and feel as though I am like settling, if you will, for something that's lower than what I already experience regular, day to day. So whatever your standard is, leverage those filters, whether it's 4-star, whether it's 5-star, and then toggle over to the points side so that you can get a good sense of like, okay, what hotels can I actually stay at that 1, maximize the points that I have, but 2, allow for me to feel that luxurious, vibe that I'm going after. So I'll give an example, like the Intercontinental, amazing experience. Like I have no notes with respect to the service, the amenities, any of that. but I actually wanted to, my first pick was the Kimpton in Bangkok. And one day I'm gonna make it there. But with the points that I had available in my balance, it just didn't make sense. Like I would have ended up having to pay out of pocket, and my priority was to solely use points in order to cover my hotel stay. So I hope that's helpful. Like the point between the points, between the loyalty programs, and just strategically leveraging your credit cards, you can truly create an experience for yourself where you wake up in the morning and where you lay your head at night, where it's just like, I wish I had the words for it. One day I will, but it's just like you wake up feeling like royalty. You go to bed feeling like royalty. You're greeted like you are VIP. And it just completely elevates your travel as a whole. So again, I'll drop all of the links to all of the cards, and just like if you do have status, be sure to lean into these strategies. If you don't, feel free to look at the cards. They have some amazing like bonus points if you spend X amount in your first Y amount a month. So be sure to look at that as well. And happy traveling. I will be posting again tomorrow, more so leaning into the luxurious feel and just like what to expect with Thailand hotels, because I think they are in a league of their own. So if you are loving these videos, please subscribe and like, and I will see you tomorrow.